Hey, welcome guys. Sorry, this is kind of wow. And then that just okay. Well, I'm not up to my full quality here. One of my webcams has gone missing, but we are here with live coverage of today's severe weather outbreak over Wisconsin. It's another busy day. Yesterday, as most of you guys know, we had a tornado outbreak over northern Wisconsin that left one dead and 25 injured. Anyway, just oh goodness, and now there's too many people. What else is yelling at me? Sorry about that. Okay, so let's go over what we got for warnings right now. If we go change over to our radar, you will see we have a tornado warning for La Crosse County, just north of the West Salem, Onalaska, in that region. It's a very hilly region, and also we can go and zoom in, and you will see that right now, not looking too impressive on radar actually. There's maybe a small couplet where you see the square here. Oh, and it looks like we just got radar paint. This would be the area of concern right here. And you can see there's a square right on the screen here. This is the area that we are most concerned with right now if there is a tornado on the ground. Not saying there is, there have been no reports, not seeing anything over Twitter, not seeing even anything from the National Weather Service that would indicate that a tornado is possible. The problem is with especially this line right here that's going across La Crosse and even points south and north is that it's very possible that there is actually a circulation, a broad circulation, but if there is a like any sort of funnel clouds or any sort of tornado risk, it would be very brief spin ups, and so I suspect that we might get several warnings, especially with this line of thunderstorms that's moving through the La Crosse area, and we can put this radar in motion, and you can see that if we zoom up on the La Crosse area, here is what we were concerned with. Is this line as it moved across the Mississippi River into the Coulee region. Right now, once again, our main concern is right here, right north of West Salem, north of Onalaska, into West Salem, north, kind of in the Holman region, probably south of Holman, and moving, as you can kind of tell, in a northeast direction. Once again, no reports of any sort of uh, tornado activity, no wall clouds that I've seen reported. Um, yeah, anything of that aspect. If there were to be any sort of spin ups, they would be very brief. I suspect that more or less we are maybe seeing a small, broad rotation south of Holman at the moment. But once again, nothing that's got me of concern. We can even look at different elevation scans. Yeah, and even up, farther up in the scans, I'm not seeing much. While we definitely are concerned with northern La Crosse County at this moment, there are a lot of other things to be concerned about as we move forward through this evening. Here is a current outlook. We are looking over the Mississippi Valley region currently, and you can see there is a line of thunderstorms that are moving through currently through La Crosse County, Vernon County, Richland, Crawford, moving north and east. So Sparta, Toma, you are under the gun for severe weather. With this line, even though there might be a small tornado chance, we are mainly concerned with high damaging winds and large hail. Just near Westby right now, between Coon Valley and Castion, we are expecting to see some pretty large hail, and that is moving right into the Sparta, Toma region, Fort McCoy area. That is definitely something to be of concern. Let's see. I just want to verify that my stream is going because I'm getting some notifications. Do 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 do. Hopefully everything is going well. I apologize, guys. This is the first time I streamed all year, and of course, you know how that goes. Anyway, looking up here, that might just be. This might be an area of concern. Taking another look at the radar, current radar, here is that tornado warning once again that we are concerned about. Looks like a new severe thunderstorm warning just issued for Sparta, Leon, Castron, that area. So you can, that I was just talking about the large hail that's just west of Westby that is moving northeast, northeast. Our main area of circulation that we are concerned about with the initial warning, it's now almost non-existent. Maybe east of Holman, but I'm also wondering about this area here. We'll keep an eye on it. Nothing too exciting currently. We'll keep an eye on it. Anyway, so that'll be another area to keep our eyes on moving forward. Sorry for jumping around like that, you guys. Let's take an overview. Let's look at satellite imagery. That'll give us a bigger perspective of what's going on. Oh, and it looks like a severe thunderstorm warning was just issued for that area of concern I was looking for. So no tornado warning associated with that, only a severe thunderstorm warning. Once again, I would suspect large damaging winds. And you'll have to apologize. I need to adjust something real quick. Once again, don't have my ideal streaming solution at the moment. But this is once again another dangerous day after we saw a deadly day yesterday over parts of Wisconsin. So this is not a day to take lightly, not an event to take lightly. Although for the most part, we've only seen the one tornado warning. So that's a good sign so far. Okay, going now over to the satellite. Let's see if this works. Alright, so here's Ghost Satellite 16, the new satellite. Obviously, it's not in operation yet, but we still can get some satellite imagery from it. And this is high resolution, high time stamped, at high time resolution, also high resolution as in picture quality too. And you can see that thunderstorms have really taken off over most of Iowa, now moving in through Wisconsin. And actually the real concern not only is with the line that's moving through the La Crosse and Mississippi Valley region right now, but these thunderstorms are out in Iowa, out in eastern Iowa, central Iowa, and moving northeast. These will especially have to take a look at as it moves into southern Wisconsin. And one of the reasons for that, if I switch over to the next page, let's see if that works. Yes. Right now I have a map of helicity, which is the it's a formula that derives the potential rotation in the atmosphere. And you can see that the values where anything you get above 200, and I forget what the units are on that, but is it meters seconds per square seconds? Yeah, I think so. Anything above 200 units of that is considered the possibility of it's one of the main ingredients we look for, not the only one, but it's an important one. You can see those values are high across Wisconsin and northern Iowa and southern Minnesota. So it's definitely something to keep our eyes on as the night continues. Let's go back to the radar and show you what it currently looks like. Once again, that tornado warning still in effect for the La Crosse region. We are keeping an eye mainly, just trying to, oh, that's not the right product site. Alright. Once again, nothing that's really jumping out that I'm saying, take shelter. Obviously, if you are in the tornado warning box, you should be inside and paying close attention to whether it's the weather radio or TV or even the internet. It is important to stay tuned to your local resource for severe weather. But just kind of looking at what we got out there currently, nothing is really jumping out at me. And we just got a new radar paint. Yeah, National Weather Service in La Crosse is going to have a fun time tonight as these storms continue to move to the north and east with maybe the potential of brief spin ups. But like I said, nothing really standing out on this. Yeah, and actually, they just canceled the tornado warning, it looks like. So, kind of out of the woods for that. If I were looking at the next potential for any sort of tornadic activity, it might be in this region here across, moving into the Black River Falls region north of La Crosse County. This is an interesting radar imagery and something to keep our eyes on here. Um, no tornado warning on that yet, but once again, something to keep our eyes on as this continues to move north and west. Let's go and check out some areas that we're going to be concerned with later on this evening, maybe across um, between 8 p.m. and 11 p.m. Tonight across most of southern Wisconsin, maybe even a little bit earlier. So if we move over and change radar sites to the Quad Cities, and hopefully the data loads. This was tornado warned earlier as it was moving north and northeast. Currently, nothing spectacular with that cell either. But once again, this is way down in Iowa near Davenport. Um, Not seeing anything here, but we'll keep our eyes on as any sort of cells move into the Wisconsin, and you can even see kind of northwest of Rockford. There's even a little cell developing, worth keeping our eyes on. Anything that develops, the atmosphere is primed. It's definitely a setup that we are concerned about moving forward through this evening. But right now, currently, no tornado warnings anywhere actually across the Midwest. We had several tornado warnings earlier throughout Iowa, and we just had one through La Crosse that we were keeping our eyes on, which prompted me to go live on air, but not currently seeing anything. Haven't gotten any reports of wall clouds or funnel clouds. Oh, and here is the next tornado warning, just where I thought had the potential for there to be a tornado warning. Let's take a look at that radar as the data loads. Yeah, this is definitely looking suspicious. Definitely something worth keeping an eye on. All right, where are we? We are moving into the Black River Falls area, as you can see. And man, yeah, if you are in Black River Falls, I would definitely be seeking shelter at this time, as this storm is right in your um, line of sight. Oh man, yeah, this is probably the most impressive storm I've seen yet in Wisconsin this evening. You can see in this panel up here, the top right hand panel, this is the velocity. So this measure winds moving away and towards the radar. And anytime you have the red, which I believe is going away, and green is towards, I might have that backwards. Um, Weather 101. Anyway, anytime you see this is called a couplet, where the red and the green are matching, and the tighter the gradient or the more intense. So if you have the green, really intense wind measurements, which right now, according to this, we're seeing maybe 12, 30 knots maybe. So maybe winds gusting up to 40, 45 miles per hour. And then moving towards the radar. Oh, hang on. People texting me. So anyway, just taking a look once again. If you're in Black River Falls, this storm is heading towards you. Let's go ahead and put this in motion. You can see the tornado warning that was issued very briefly for La Crosse County. Now moving up into Black River Falls area. This is actually a separate storm system. Kind of the same line that moved through La Crosse, but now this is a separate cell that prompted this tornado warning over the Black River Falls area. Let's zoom back in. Let's see if we get another radar update. Doesn't look like it. But once again, it's at Franklin. If you south of Franklin, moving into Black River Falls, if you are in that area, seek shelter immediately. This storm is traveling about 50 miles per hour, so it's definitely a fast mover. And it looks like, according to time estimates, it could reach Black River Falls by 5:45 p.m. and it's currently 5:35. So yeah, it's a fast-moving storm, and we're just waiting for a radar paint, which hopefully will happen soon here. Um, this is the second tornado warning of the evening, and actually this is a different tornado warning than what prompted the first one. Let's look down towards these storms that are currently across Vernon, Richland Center, and Crawford counties, moving to Monroe. Um, the thing about these cells is they're a little less discrete, meaning they are kind of more in a line, which means the outflow-inflow boundaries are aligned such that usually it's not in a tornadic or not conducive to tornadic activity, but not necessarily means it's not possible, but it's not as conducive as maybe when you get a more discrete cell, meaning like a cell that just is out by itself. When it forms a line, it's harder for the right conditions to line up to create a tornadic supercell, but that's not always the case. And in fact, I was talking earlier in my stream about that the National Weather Service in La Crosse is going to probably have a difficult time with warnings with this line as it continues to move north-northeast due to the fact that this is going to turn into a line, and that the possibility of smaller spin-ups embedded in that line just because how the atmospheric conditions are set. But once again, this is our main concern. Just south of Franklin, moving to Black River Falls. If you are in that area, and I was hoping to get a radar paint by now, but it has not updated. Let's see. Do have another radar. Just in case that one is failing us. Let's see if I can get this up. I apologize, you guys. The magic of live streaming by yourself. Yeah, did that update? No, it doesn't look like it. Actually, funny, on the other app, the circulation is not as impressive, but we can go ahead and try taking a look. Let's switch apps, because I think this is a little bit newer paint. And here is that other app. Just extend that out a little bit. So anyway, here we are looking, here's Black River Falls again, kind of to the north and east of our main concern. Our main concern being right here, just south of Franklin, moving to the northeast. So Black River Falls, you are definitely under the gun for this. And apparently, my app almost crashed there. That's beautiful. I gotta love this sort of stuff. Anyway, we can put this in motion, and then you can also see tons of lightning with this storm. Actually, that's probably the primary concern with any storm this evening will be large damaging winds, large damaging straight line winds, and large hail, along with dangerous lightning. Anyone who saw the thunderstorms that moved through southern Wisconsin just the other day and through northern Wisconsin certainly saw a lot of lightning. And lightning can be just as much of a killer as any tornado or even flooding. But luckily, the flooding risk doesn't seem as great as it has been in some other setups. These are fast-moving storms this evening, so I would suspect flooding would be at a minimum. Just kind of looking at tornado warnings. Just got updated. Unfortunately, I did not get a radar paint on the other program that we've been looking at, but let's take a look at the text for that. Still no radar indicated, no nothing along the lines of any verification that there is a tornado on the ground at the moment. It's just purely radar indicated. I should also mention that any tornado that may be produced by this storm would probably be rain wrapped. We're once again looking at the velocity. If we go back to reflectivity, which is indication of rain, and I will kind of draw once again where we suspect, just in that area right there, kind of south of Taylor, south of Franklin, maybe right around Franklin, moving into Black River Falls. That's the area of largest concern at the moment. And any tornado that may be associated with that cell would definitely be rain wrapped, and you would not be able to see it. But once again, no indication of any wall clouds, any funnel clouds. Haven't seen anything on Twitter. Let me actually just double check Twitter as moving forward here. Not seeing anything. Yeah, this is also kind of a rural area of the state, kind of between Franklin and. Why has this radar not updated recently? Well, we just got a radar paint on this app. Let's take a look back, remove that. Go over to the super velocity. Super really doesn't mean that much in this case, just higher detail. And you can see our area of concern right now. I also need glasses apparently. Just south of Taylor, north of Franklin, heading to the maybe north of Black River Falls. I think the storm is occasionally when these cells start to rotate, really rotate in on themselves. Instead of heading north easterly, sometimes they'll start tracking a little more left, which would take it more of a north trajectory, which kind of seems to be the case in here. And I will try to draw real quick where, see if that actually came up. It kind of came up. But once again, this is our area of main concern right here. And one of the other things I just noticed as this radar paint updated, and we'll zoom in here. Once again, if you're in Taylor, Hickston, Black River Falls, definitely be seeking shelter right now. This is a dangerous storm, even though we have not seen any reports of a tornado or even of a rotating wall cloud or anything to that effect. This is still something to be taken serious. I've also noticed that the couplet that I was talking about earlier, the red and the greens, the tighter they are, and the higher the wind speed is associated with that, because once again, velocity is a measurement of wind, not only of the velocity of the wind, but of the direction too. And so the brighter the reds and the deeper the greens, that means the velocity of the winds themselves is more, and the tighter that gets, is a better indication of a possibility of a tornado. Doesn't guarantee that there's a tornado there, but definitely indicates rotation to us. And I've noticed that couplet in the last couple of paints has gotten a little bit tighter, which is something you do not like to see when there's a possibility of a tornado. I'm also looking at some other radar products off screen here. Not noticing anything. Oh, hang on, let me take a real. Gotta draw this for myself. No, not seeing anything that of suspicious that maybe we're getting a debris signature from the radar, which you can sometimes see in other. It looks like maybe a new tornado warning associated with this storm. We'll see if we can get that. I think because the storm has gone a little bit north than the actual tornado warning box, they had to redraw it by the looks of it. Because you can see where I'm mainly concerned is right in this region, which would actually take it north of the Black River Falls area, and the tornado warning box is kind of hard to see, but it's this area right here. And so yeah, it's definitely north of the warning box. We'll see if we get an update here. Just a little bit here. Sometimes it takes a while for these things to update. Once again, just looking through tweets. Nothing on Twitter, nothing on any of the back channels either. Not seeing anything indicating a positive that we've seen anything worth. Oh, and I might have gotten a new radar. Let's see. Oh, my other radar program, the last paint did not do any justice. Oh, that's funny. That is funny. Although it does, if I remove this, I apologize, you guys. This is one of the joys of... Okay, yeah, one of the joys of live streaming. Let's go back to the other radar program, actually. Once again, taking a look, here's the other radar program that we were looking at earlier. Once again, it's not showing the refresh tornado warning, but I think the area of biggest concern here is actually going to be north of Black River Falls, south of the Hickston, so between Black River Falls and Hickston there on I-94, as it moves kind of in a northeastern direction. That would be my primary concern right now. On the top right-hand corner is the velocity data. On the top left-hand corner is reflectivity, which is a good indication of how strong it's raining, or maybe even indicates hail. Looking at some of the back channels, nothing there. Okay, we can widen out, kind of look at some of the other... Oh, interesting. Look what's happening here down in Richland Center. We were caught up in the storms that prompted a tornado warning, and once again, definitely needs to be taken serious. Definitely something keeping an eye out on. If you lived in Hickston, Black River Falls, even Hatfield, Alma Center, I would definitely be getting... oh, and it looks like a tornado warning was just issued for that other cell that we were talking about in Richland Center. Yep, here we go. So let's take a look at that, and it looks like my radar updated for this too. So north of Bloom City, Rockbridge, Richland Center. Now, this is very broad rotation, and a matter of fact, we're looking at the La Crosse radar site right now. Let's take a look at Milwaukee and see. Even though I believe this is in the La Crosse jurisdiction. Yeah, this might be a better radar paint. Maybe not. But anyway, let's go back to La Crosse. So once again, 2 tornado warnings that we are concerning ourselves with right now. One that's for Richland County, Vernon County, Sauk, Juneau, Adams. You are under the gun too, but the tornado... Oh, yeah, okay. This is kind of hard to tell. I'm guessing that the main concern right here is probably in this region, between Bloom City, Rockbridge, and then if you're looking north, Hillsborough, you might be under the gun. Yuba, I believe that's how... Yeah, you're also under the gun. So Bloom City and Rockbridge, if you live anywhere between there, I would definitely be seeking shelter at this time. I'm just reading the text once again. The joys of living or doing this live. Yeah, most likely. Once again, nothing confirmed at this point with either the tornado warnings here in Wisconsin. But these are our 2 areas to keep an eye out. Once again, if we just go back, because we have gotten a radar update, Black River Falls, Taylor, Hickston, if you're in that area, please be seeking shelter. Oh my goodness. As my friends are blowing up my phone. Looking at other products, making sure that I have the most up-to-date radar paints for you guys. Let's take a look at the other app real quick. And here we are once again on the Black River Falls, and I would say that the area of concern is still kind of south of Hixton, but it has gone a lot. It is not as intense of a couplet, and I think the threat there is weakening definitely by a lot. But still, if you're in Hixton or Black River Falls, even Alma Center, I would probably be seeking shelter because this is still a powerful storm and not worth risking your life or your property at this moment. So let's go ahead. If you will let me, I apologize. Go back to the other radar app. Getting some new information here. Looks like we have some reports of some wind damage, but nothing. Looks like straight line winds, if anything. I don't think that is any reports or even close to the tornado warnings, either of them. Okay, so once again, any of these storms across Monroe County, Vernon County, Richland Center, Crawford, the Black River Falls area, even points north and east of those locations, Adams, Juneau. I would be definitely worried about this line of thunderstorms that's moving through that region as we continue to track these storms as they move northeast. Sparta, Toma area, you're about to get hit with some nasty winds for sure and large hail. Hail maybe up to quarter size, maybe heading into the Toma region and Black River Falls. I'm not sure if this is the most up-to-date paint. Hopefully we're getting a new radar update soon. No, we are not. Anyway, let me go back to the other radar app. I apologize, you guys, but at least we have another radar app. And let's go down to that southern cell that now is our primary concern here. And you can see if you are in any of these areas that, like north of Richland Center, into Hillsborough, Yuba, definitely seek shelter now. This is not something to be messing with. As a matter of fact, according to this radar site, we're seeing a TVS, which is just a software indicated indication, taking several parameters and kind of adding them up together. If they see something that's suspicious, they'll mark it in these radar programs, and you can kind of see that it says TVS, and a TVS is one of the strongest indications of a possible tornado. And so once again, nothing confirmed. Just checking the National Weather Service on their Twitter and other resources at our disposal, and they're pretty quiet right now. I think they're watching these storms just as much as I am right now. Yeah. Okay, I also want to take a quick look. Once again, if you are in north of Richland Center, Yuba, Bloom City, eventually Hillsborough, Winnebago, Union Center, Elroy, even, maybe even eventually Mauston, New Lisbon. Be keeping a lookout as these storms continue to move in a northeasterly direction. And I'm just realizing that you cannot see that because I am on the other radar site, which I also realize hasn't updated. So maybe I'll keep it on this one because this does look, yeah, this is definitely more up to date than the other one. Let's see if that other tornado warning is still going strong. It is. Once again, the main area of concern, I'll zoom up, is in the Hixton area, Alma Center. You're under the gun. Black River Falls, you're definitely seeing a lot of rain right now, but beyond that, the tornado threat is probably to your northwest. Um, I'm gonna zoom out here and change radar products. Let's see. I'm gonna try doing this on the other app and see what data comes through there. In the meanwhile, I'll zoom this out so we can keep an eye on both of these storms. Um, I'll also say that the storm system to our south, that's in Richland Center and Vernon County, that's moving towards Hillsborough, is not looking as threatening as it was maybe a couple of radar paints ago. But in the meantime, let me other radar site, other program. Click, click. This is definitely something to keep our eyes on, and this is definitely up to date. I'm going to move over to the Milwaukee radar site. Let's go back to the other radar program. Something we were watching this little cell earlier on in our stream, and it has definitely blown up. That's south of Rockford, moving into southern Wisconsin. And the concerning thing about this cell is that A, it's discrete, meaning it is by itself, no other cells in the area. You can kind of tell that the storms up in La Crosse have kind of formed a line. The storms have been produced tornado warnings earlier in the day. Oh, and that other tornado warning was allowed to expire in the Black River Falls area. But the tornado warning remains for Richland County and Vernon County. We'll get back to that real soon. But also, I think the threat is diminishing in that area. But something to keep our eyes on, especially if we zoom out a little bit, is that this cell right here that's just entering into the Rockford area and will move north-northeast, possibly across southern Wisconsin. It is discrete. It is moving into an environment that did not see much in the way of thunderstorms earlier today, so I'm sure it's full of energy, untapped energy, so that is definitely something to be concerned with as we move forward. Let's go back to that storm system that is in Richland and Vernon counties. Moving close to Hillsborough, but honestly, yeah, Hillsborough, you're under the gun, but I'm not seeing anything that's of too much concern. And I just saw this National Weather Service issues a severe thunderstorm warning for just this little section here in Sauk County. That's a new warning, and that looks to be maybe the replacement. So I'm assuming they're going to allow this tornado warning to expire. Not to say that this is not a dangerous storm system. And if we go back to La Crosse and hopefully get up-to-date data. If you are living in Sparta, Toma, you're about to get blasted by some strong winds, that is for sure. And this is up to... I think you can hear the wind in the background here in Madison. It's been quite a windy day. But yeah, here's that storm again up in Black River Falls that prompted that tornado warning, and not seeing much there. Definitely not seeing much there. But still, strong winds associated with any of these storms in Black River Falls area, moving down to the Sparta-Toma region, down to Hillsborough, where we still technically have a tornado warning. Especially in these southern cells, large hail is definitely a possibility. You can see the pinks and the purples indicating heavy precipitation and the possibility of hail, according to this radar program, up to 2 inches in diameter is possible. Yeah. If you guys don't mind, I'm going to take a little bit of a breather here, just to make sure... Oh, before I do that, here's a new severe thunderstorm warning. And I'll just read the text of that real quick. Let's see. Toma by 6:10, Boston, New Lisbon about 6:15. Winds up to 60 miles per hour, moving at 45 miles per hour. Penny-sized hail. So your typical severe thunderstorm warning here in Wisconsin. We're keeping an eye on. We'll see if they reissue this tornado warning. But I'm not seeing anything that's. I mean, the if you kind of look here at this product, the strongest circulation. Oops. Hopefully, I'm not moving that on the actual live stream because I'm pointing at the wrong thing. Um, if you can see the red square that's in the middle of the screen that's kind of staying center, the strongest rotation, according to this, is actually offset from the precipitation. So actually, this might be an inflow boundary that's fueling this storm system. And in that scenario, you would actually expect any sort of circulation to be maybe south of Hillsborough, but we are not seeing that on any of these products. Even if I shift to different scans, yeah, that's definitely nothing of too much concern. I think this is just maybe either outflow or inflow boundary for this, most likely an inflow boundary for this cell. So I think the tornado threat is definitely diminishing here across the Hillsborough Union Center. And I wouldn't be surprised if the tornado warning is allowed to expire. But in the meantime, if you're in the Toma region, if you are in the Black River Falls region, I would definitely be keeping an eye out as these storms continue to the northeast, around 55 to 60 miles per hour. And just getting a tornado warning out in Iowa, way down there, and those storms are heading towards southern Wisconsin. And once again, I was just talking about the cell that was near Rockford. We're going to keep our eyes on because that's looking kind of potentially dangerous, and we're kind of at that prime tornado time here over much of the state. Anyway, I'm going to take a breather real quick. I'm going to stay live on the air, but I'm just going to make sure I'm not missing anything as far as any damage reports or anything beyond that. So I'll be right back in just a moment. All right, we are back as and a bunch of text messages fly through just as I come back on the air. New tornado warning just issued for parts of Jackson County and Clark County, I believe. Yep. Neillsville, Loyal, Wisconsin. Yeah, that is definitely maybe of concern. I was just looking through the radar scans. Um, oh man, and then just updated. I'm not seeing anything that's like too to get way up there. There might be some broad rotation across Clark and yeah, Clark and Jackson County line there. But this tornado warning. So if you're in Neillsville, Christie, Granton, Loyal, I would definitely be seeking shelter. This is a powerful storm, and actually, just to kind of move down to a different area that's not under tornado warning. And Toma is definitely getting hit with some very strong winds right now, up to maybe moving up to 60 miles per hour at this point. Yeah, and it looks like a new severe thunderstorm warning is issued for what is that, Wood County? Yeah, that's Wood next to Jackson. It's hard to keep all your counties straight. But anyway, definitely a strong line of thunderstorms moving through the region here through central Wisconsin. And we're still keeping our eye out around the Boston area, Elroy. Um, yeah, definitely something to keep our eyes on as that storm continues to evolve and move northeast. But other than strong damaging winds and large hail, oh, two tornado warnings. Oh, here we go. Here we go, everyone. For Tunnel City, Toma, you are under the gun as and you'll have to apologize. I'm gonna do something real quick here. I just want to make sure. Let's see. Okay, what's Plainview. I just got, there's some photos being, Plainview, where is Plainview? I apologize. Plainview, man. Oh, was that yesterday's storms? Jeez. Because, yeah, Plainview is not even under the gun. Okay, we got two tornado warnings right now from the National Weather Service in La Crosse. Let's briefly go over those. The newest one is for Toma region, Wyville, Warren, just south of Warren. To be perfectly honest, this might just be a, just in case. One of the things you can see here on the velocity radar paint here is that there are definitely this kind of bow looking shape, and anytime you have a bow looking this is kind of what they call a gust front, and there's the potential for damaging straight line winds would definitely be, and actually it looks like a report from a train spotter around 23:00, so actually this is quite recently, within the last couple minutes, of a 55 mile per hour wind gust estimated, and the most strongest winds right now near Warrens, Wyville, and Oakdale, with this probably a small chance of a tornado if there was a brief spin up, would be along this line. That's the outer edge here as it interacts with the this is kind of the line moving northeast, and as that gust front interacts with the environment that's moving into, occasionally you get brief spin ups, but I'm not seeing anything. Oh man, just definitely getting reports of damaging winds in Toma as it moved through that region. But if you are in Get more tornado warnings, but that's to our south. Anyway, so if you're in Yville, Warrens, Oakdale, definitely be seeking shelter because you're definitely going to get straight line winds with a small possibility of a brief spin up tornado, but nothing confirmed, not seeing anything at the moment. Yeah. Okay, and here's the other tornado warning for Clark County and the very edge of Jackson County. Uh, the rotation, actually, funny thing is the rotation we've seen on radar most of the evening has been in the northern quadrant of the tornado warn cell. And to be perfectly honest, it's not even that. Even if we look at what counted, Humbird, sorry, I need glasses apparently. Just south of Humbird, going towards Neilsville, there's maybe a slight rotation, but even then, it's very slight. You have to look fairly far up in the storm to see any sort of rotation. So I'm guessing the tornado threat there is very minimal, but these storms are fast moving. But potential for brief spin ups definitely is the case. So if you are anywhere in Christie, Neilsville, Humber, Loyal, these are fast moving storms and you need to be in your storm shelter. Take this seriously as, yeah, this is definitely one of those things. Finally getting some wall cloud pictures, but nothing in the way that's very concerning. We haven't had any confirmation of any tornadoes. Yeah. Boy, but National Weather Service in La Crosse definitely has their hands full. And we're continuing to keep our eyes out near Elroy, Union Center, and Boston as those storms move north-northeast. Because there's definitely the possibility of a brief spin up in those storms too. But like I said, nothing confirmed, no tornado warnings here, but worth keeping our eye on as this moves north-northeast. We're also keeping our eye on the storm that's near Rockford right now as it moves into southern Wisconsin, and this is definitely a cell worth keeping our eyes out on as the radar downloads. It's kind of trying to get its act together. I haven't seen oh, there's the newest paint. You can kind of see the beginnings. Definitely large hail. Boy, that might turn into a monster. Yeah, I would not be surprised if that goes tornado warned for the Rockford area in just a little bit here, and that will travel into the Janesville area, Elkhorn, Whitewater. So keep an eye on that. That is definitely something worth keeping an eye on as we move forward. But once again, the primary tornado warnings for Wisconsin right now. We'll go back to that radar site as that loads. In the Tomah region, and here's where I was talking about. I'm just gonna get different rotations or different elevation heights here. As you can kind of see the images, but we'll go to ground level, which is obviously where you kind of want to look if there's any sort of tornado activity. But this mainly looks like straight line winds, to be perfectly honest. So if you're in Warrens, Yville, you are definitely getting hit with strong winds. We had a 55 mile per hour wind gust reported in Tomah earlier, which I'm sure was lots of fun for those folks. I haven't seen any indications of the possibility of tornadoes. It looks like they did issue a severe thunderstorm warning for that cell that we were just looking at in Rockford, which has gotten me very worried as it continues to move into the state of Wisconsin. Not that these cells don't also have me worried, definitely because there's a potential for large hail and damaging winds, as I keep saying. But this whole line, and I can kind of point out here with my cursor, has turned into one big glob, which doesn't mean that the tornado risk is non-existent, but the tornado risk is a lot less when you see it turn more into a line of storms because the inflow outflow boundaries kind of congeal into one, and that's very a lot less conducive into the tornado making process, which is also looks like we got update for this tornado warning. Let me just read that real quick. So radar indicated, other than that damaging wind report from Toma. Oh, it looks like we have a new one too from a train spotter. So yeah, definitely probably some damage in the Toma area for sure, but that was from straight line winds, not a tornado, just to be clear. Have seen no indications of a confirmed tornado. Apologize, you guys, but I gotta keep up to date on the most latest information and make sure my stream is still going well. So here are the 2 tornado warnings. Once again, if you're in Neillsville and points north and east of that, so Christie, Granton, Loyal, maybe even into Spencer, keep an eye out. This storm has a history of producing tornado warnings, but nothing confirmed. Haven't even seen much in the way of any damage reports. Looks like in Black River Falls, maybe they have one. Many trees down in the Black River Falls area, but that's probably more along with straight line winds, which is probably the same case here in Toma, where they had winds of 55 to 60 miles per hour move through that region within the last half hour. And once again, keeping our eye out on this cell that's moving into the Rockford area. Let's see if we get a new paint of that. Yeah, definitely some Winnebago, Northern Rockford, Beloit. You are under the crossfire, and if this storm can get its act together, that will potentially be a dangerous storm moving forward. Something that I'm definitely keeping my eyes out on. Let's go back to that southern cell that's in the La Crosse area. Go back to that radar site. Just making sure I'm not missing anything. Not seeing anything there, not seeing anything with our cell that's to the north of that. That would give me pause. Make sure I'm on the right elevation scan. If anything, I would say we've been kind of watching this progress. I'll zoom out. It was in the Franklin area, moved kind of north through Black River Falls, along the Jackson, north of Hatfield, and kind of moved. And I would say that, like, actually I did not trace that real well. But yeah, just kind of moved north of what the warning has been all evening. So I would say the greatest concern is probably between Fairchild and Neillsville, moving into the Christie area, but very minimal. Very minimal. But straight line winds is still very, very, very much in play, and maybe even some hail. Moving to the south, the warning was allowed to continue. We had the reports down in Toma of, now upping that. That was 55. Damage to signs near fairgrounds in Toma. And that was a 65 estimated gust. Let's see. And then another report of a 60 mile per hour wind. Yeah, so that's unfortunate. Still seeing this kind of the brighter reds indicating stronger winds according to the radar. And just getting more information about some tornado warnings out in Iowa, and I can zoom out real quick. You can see these are with the most southern cells in Iowa. And that's kind of the case. The most southern cells, even with this line, would be where we would be concerned with new spin-ups. For example, maybe in this case, although Mauston, New Lisbon, you're definitely getting hit. This is an interesting little guy, too. kind of near Delawood, excuse me, heading towards the Friendship Adams area. Um, yeah, I would be keeping my eyes out on that. Tornado threat looking very minimal with the tornado warned cells that are moving through the area just north of Neosville, now going to Royal, Spencer. Yeah, but definitely damaging winds for sure. But I think the tornado threat, excuse me, is very minimal at this point. Keeping our eyes out once again. Lots of people concerned with that cell that's in Rockford, and we can go back and look at that. I know that's not only has a severe thunderstorm warning for Rock County at this point, but yeah, this has the potential to be dangerous. Not seeing anything that's got me too concerned at the moment. Maybe even take a look at it from the Chicago radar site. Uh, yeah, that's a little more. Yeah. Once again, kind of looking at the velocity, you can see where my cursor is. Did that tornado warning get updated? No. Okay. Sorry, the zooming in and out is probably kind of annoying. I realize that, but it's still something. Just trying to get my bearings straight here. Yeah. Well, we'll keep our eye on it. They haven't issued a tornado warning yet. I'm sure there are plenty of people on that storm keeping a lookout, eyes on it. So anything were to happen in that area and move into Beloit, Clinton, Janesville area, I am sure people are on that. And I'm also certain people are on these storms that are up in the Juneau, Monroe, Jackson area, and the Jackson Clark area. But once again, not seeing too many reports of anything beyond just straight line damaging winds. Not to say that that can't create problems. Earlier in Toma, we saw damage to signs near the fairgrounds. The strongest ones right now are just north of Neosville, kind of in between Spencer and Neosville, halfway in between the two counties. Babcock, City Point, Dexterville, Pittsville, moving into the Wisconsin Rapids area, you are under the gun. And I would definitely make sure that you are seeking shelter at this time, as straight line winds are definitely a possibility. New Lisbon, Mauston, you guys just got hit, so Necedah, Friendship, you are up next. It's along with Monroe Center and Grand Marsh, White Creek. I would definitely be seeking shelter. Kind of keeping an eye out on this little cell here that's just north of Delawood, going north to Arkdale. Alright. New severe thunderstorm warning. No surprise for this cell that's tornado warned. And it looks like they just allowed the tornado warning to expire for that was near the Toma area. They're continuing to allow this tornado warning that's in Neosville, but how much longer does that have? That has until 6:45. It looks like. Yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. Maybe they'll allow it to continue, but not seeing anything of any concern really, except for straight line winds with that storm. Continuing to see that discrete cell that's to our south near Rockford. Yeah. Boy, that's a monster. That is concerning. All it needs to do is get its act together, and that could be something. That could be scary. I know it's not fair to be talking about a storm that isn't even tornado warned at this time. Well, we have tornado warnings, but I think the tornado threat is potentially a lot greater of there maybe a possibility of a tornado developing with this storm system that's to our south, just now entering kind of the Loves Park, Rockton area of northern Illinois. Will eventually move into the Janesville, Beloit, Clinton, Johnson Center region of Wisconsin. Yeah, that is looking concerning. We will keep an eye out. And I know there are people on all the storm systems. There are a lot of people on this storm system. Many people that I know that are on this storm here. So if anything were to happen, I'm sure we would know about it. And many people on the storm system that's even to our north. And actually, it looks like they're about to maybe issue a tornado warning for that Rockford storm. So if that happens, we'll get on it. But until then, just taking another look at this storm system. Yeah, that's nothing of concern. I think even the damaging wind threat is still very much entering the City Point, Babcock area. If you are in that area, definitely be seeking shelter. Looks like they continue the severe thunderstorm warning for Juneau and Adams. They allowed that to move forward. So yeah, Nisita, Friendship, you are under the gun. That is for certain. We're going to keep our eye on this little guy that's kind of been developing. We were pointing him out earlier as that continues to move north and east. Just getting more information about that severe thunderstorm warning. So Boston, New Lisbon until 7 p.m. You know, the unfortunate part about these storm systems is that, yeah, we got... keep an eye out on this, too. Interesting little feature here, but nothing more than a feature at this point. As these storms continue to move north and east, there's another round that, as you can see, lots of storm reports. I can zoom up. You can see all the storm reports, 70, 60 mile per hour wind gusts throughout Iowa, and that's going to move across Wisconsin and probably still be just as powerful moving forward. That tornado warning was allowed to expire for Neosville and points north and east. Keeping our eye out on strong winds that are moving through Jackson County, moving into Wood County. Juneau Adams, you're under the gun. And then back down to our dangerous looking storm system that's in Janesville. Definitely under the gun. Large hail for sure. And if it gets its act together, yeah, not looking good. Not looking good. But hasn't done anything yet. I'm surprised we haven't even seen a tornado warning out of it yet. We'll quickly go to the other radar program that's currently looking at the... Whoops. This is looking using the Chicago radar site. This is just north of Rockford. Yep. It's a Rockton, South Beloit area. And you can kind of see there's a little bit of a couplet there. It hasn't been too strong, so I think they're playing it safe. And also, there I can see on Twitter there's a ton of people on that storm system. So it looks like there isn't much in the way of as far as any wall clouds or anything. Because I think if there was, I would see it all over Twitter. So no surprise there. Let's see. Yes. Let's go back to the other radar program. Actually, before we go and do that, let's take a look. Yeah, it's getting dark out, but I just want to take a look at the GOES 16, the newest satellite imagery that greatly improves our both temporal resolution and our pixel, like as in actual picture quality. And you could just see the storms blowing up that one cell that I keep talking about over Rockford that's moving kind of northeast into Wisconsin that looks very dangerous and kind of on its own. That'd be something to keep our eyes out on. And then that whole line out in Iowa that's going to move into Wisconsin later on this evening. And of course, the storms that initiated across La Crosse and moving to points now north and east. They're, yeah, you can just tell that they just kind of exploded over the last hour, hour and a half. And yeah, definitely another dangerous night across Wisconsin. As many of you know, we had one death and 25 injuries in northern Wisconsin after a trailer park was hit by a tornado. Luckily, no reports of any tornadoes this today. Just warnings, straight line winds, damage in the Black River Falls area, Toma. Looks like I also got some reports in Elroy of some damaging winds. Richland Center earlier in the day. Trees down along Highway 56. Yeah. And now we're just kind of keeping our eyes once again on that storm system that's moving across Juneau, Adams, Black River Falls. Whew. Yeah. Busy night, busy night. Man, I am surprised they have not issued a tornado warning yet for that Rockford storm. But especially given where the radar thinks the rotation is. Oh, that's kind of funny. I wonder. Yeah, especially given where the. Oh, sorry, just realized I was in the wrong paint. Some of these are just products using algorithms, but this is called, oh man, I might get this name wrong. This is like a rotation, this bottom right hand column here. This panel here is a derived product of what the radar thinks there might be rotation, and the greens and blues here, anytime they are tight together and brighter, the brighter they are too, the stronger the radar thinks there's rotation. There's a lot of false positives with this sort of data, but still, it is kind of in the right place, especially if you look at the reflectivity, especially given even velocity data, although it is a little bit misplaced from the lowest scan. Although that's not surprising given how far away from Milwaukee it is. Actually, what is that scan height? Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's see. What does it look lower? Yeah, so that'd be higher up in the storm, I guess. Now kind of looking at all of the data. But still, that's definitely a sign of rotation higher up in the storm system. And even in the reflectivity, some of the things we look at is... if you start seeing kind of the well-defined hooked feature, kind of what you're starting to see in Rockton area. But you know what? I will give them credit. There's not much on the velocity data, which is a measurement of the wind speeds and direction. Not seeing much on that, so I can maybe understand why they haven't issued a tornado warning. Definitely some large hail, that's for certain. Yeah. But this storm system is now moving into the Janesville, Beloit. The biggest concern we would have is just south of Beloit, kind of in the Rockton area right now for any development of a tornado. But the strongest hail would be north of that system, kind of in between Beloit and Janesville, north of Rockton. You definitely get some. And my phone's going off. Why is my phone going off? Oh, actually, we are going to zoom out. Keep an eye on this, but we have a tornado warning that is actually off in Iowa. Let's take a look at that. That will, this other line of thunderstorms that we've been watching all evening with the straight line winds. Oh yeah, I can see why the National Weather Service in the Quad Cities is worried about this. Or is it Des Moines? I can never remember. In the Davenport area. Is that Quad Cities? I can never remember. Why they would be kind of concerned about this. yeah, in Davenport, sorry, is got a little bit of a hook feature here. When you see, there's definitely some straight line winds and 70-mile-per-hour gusts here out in Iowa and western Iowa. Um, and anytime you get like a little notch along a straight line here, it definitely raises some eyebrows, and especially in the velocity data. You can see if I put my red square here in the center of the screen, you look at where the reflectivity, which is an indication of how strong some winds are, or sorry, reflectivity, how strong the precipitation might be. And then you look at the velocity data, which is now where my cursor is. And they kind of line up perfectly where that velocity data, where the reds and greens match. And then in the reflectivity, where that little notch feature is, that could be a very strong indication of a possibility of at least some rotation. And especially along a straight line wind event like this, there could be a brief spin up as the two boundaries of air, the one that's associated with the line of thunderstorms meets the air that it's moving into. You can sometimes get quick spin ups, and that's where the tornado threat is, mainly with that. So looking ahead, that would enter maybe the Grant County, Crawford County, which was under a tornado warning earlier, and maybe back into that region, but that's a long ways away. We're still keeping an eye out on that Milwaukee storm as it moves north-northeast. It is definitely... Oh, okay, that was that paint. Yeah, it's cycling. You can definitely tell as these storms grow. They go through several cycles of the intake outtake. It moves around, and as it does, yeah. Anyway, another tornado warning out in Iowa, farther south. These storms are going to be moving into Wisconsin later this evening, so that's definitely something to keep an eye on. So only 6:30, so we're keeping an eye out on the storm that's in the Janesville, Beloit area right now as our greatest concerns. Also keeping an eye out on these storms that are moving up in the Wisconsin Rapids, Stevens Point, Neillsville, down to Boston. Thing about these storms is that air might be a little more not as rich and not as sustainable for storms this evening, because it saw even earlier round of thunderstorms earlier this evening. So the air might be a little bit more stable as it continues north and east. I kind of suspect that's what's happening with these storms. Let's switch back over to the Crosse radar. Let that data load real quick. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely still the threat of Pittsville, Spencer, Marshfield. Marshfield maybe even seeing some large hail heading your way. But these are all severe thunderstorm warned. Wisconsin Rapids, you're under the gun for probably high winds. The Friendship area, it's going to be just to your north. But yeah, we're kind of keeping an eye on several clusters of storms. The greatest threat is probably going to be the storm that is trying to get its act together in the Janesville, in the Rock County area. And then once again out into Iowa with a second line of thunderstorms. Well, third maybe if you include the one that happened earlier today. As it moves into Wisconsin later this evening. This is about an hour and 20 minutes into our severe weather coverage. At this point, we're going to keep an eye on this Rock County storm, but I think I'm going to take a break here, catch my breath a little bit. Especially since we don't have a lot of tornado warnings out. Getting close to the Grant County area, and then obviously we're keeping an eye on this storm that's moving into the Rockford, Janesville area. But it has plenty of people on it, so if anything does happen, you'll be sure that the National Weather Service will issue a warning. So anyway, I'll be back in a little bit. My name's Matthew, and this has been live coverage of the severe weather events through Wisconsin here on May 17th, 2017. We'll be back when we receive our next warning. All right. Bye, guys.